Hi guys, my name is Hannah. I am the Recycling Outreach Coordinator for Wood County Solid Waste Management District. And my job is basically to help people like you learn how we can be more sustainable through reducing, reusing, and recycling. So today we are going to talk about green shopping. So raise your hand if you like shopping, and raise your hand if you want to help protect the planet. So there's a way that we can combine both of these things, and that's through green shopping. And that's what I'm going to cover today. So we're going to learn some more about how we can be conscious consumers, and I'm going to show you some items that I use that help me to be more sustainable. So I'm going to share my screen. And when I say the words green shopping, what I'm talking about is reducing our environmental impact. So a lot of the things that we make, we use them one time and then they go right to the landfill. So this is not sustainable. When we are green shopping, we are using more reusable items, we're recycling what we can, and we're using less resources. A great way to be a good green shopper is by shopping local, thinking global. So instead of ordering products that are shipped all the way from China or other countries, we can shop what's right nearby us. So for me, that means I can go to Bowling Green, the little shops around here. I can get my coffee down the street at Thoughts for Grounds. I can go to farmers markets where I can meet the farmers that are growing my food that I'm going to eat. Another great thing that we can do to be green shoppers are use reusable items. So these are products that can be used over and over and over again. There's really no limit to the amount of times that they can be used. So for example, one of my Christmas presents this year was a reusable mug from my best friend because she knows that I like to green shop. And this means that I don't have to buy single-use plastic water bottles that either go to landfill or go to the recycling bin. This uses less resources. It's reusable. I also drink a lot of coffee and tea. So I bought this reusable coffee mug. It's made out of bamboo and silicone. These are sustainable because they can be regrown as much as they are used. And I'm not using plastic, I'm not using wax paper. Both of those things that you get from coffee shops like Starbucks, those things have to go to the trash can. So this saves space in the landfill. I also have a reusable mask. So instead of using the single-use plastic masks, I use a reusable one that I can wash and then wear again and again. So I'm protecting my health and I'm also protecting the planet's health. I also have a lot of reusable bags. So when I go to the grocery store or if I go shopping, I do not get a plastic bag. I bring my own bags. This stores all the food I need. It's easy to transport. I can leave it in my car. So I always have an option when I'm shopping. And this helps me to be a better green shopper. Now, another component of being a good green shopper are buying things that are recyclable. And raise your hand if you recycle at home. Hopefully you do, because recycling is a great way that we can keep valuable resources out of the landfill. So some of the most common recyclable things are things like metal cans, glass bottles and jars, plastic bottles and jugs, cardboard, and mixed paper. And these are types of things that we use every day. If we recycle them, that means that they don't have to take new resources to make these products. They can use the materials that we already have. So for example, an aluminum can, if I put that in the recycling bin, within 30 days, that can become a new pop can. So it's a great way to be a green shopper is through recycling. Most importantly, when we're green shopping, we want to reduce the amount of resources used. So I have two pictures here on this screen, and I want you to look and see if you notice anything that is not sustainable in these two pictures. So the first picture, someone ordered 5 cans of soup. But instead of putting them all together, they packaged and shipped them all separately. So there's 4 extra boxes, there's 8 extra air pillows, And this takes a lot, this is very wasteful. This used a lot more resources than they needed. And in the second picture, we have some oranges. And the person that posted this picture said, if only nature would find a way to cover these oranges so we didn't need to waste so much plastic on them. Right, so they unpeeled them and then they put them in plastic containers with stickers. So that means that this container probably is gonna end up in the landfill, and it's just very unnecessarily wasteful. So when we're shopping, if we wanna be green, we wanna look out for this type of stuff. We don't need to buy extra packaging. So there's a few vocabulary words I wanted to share with you, and these all are related to green shopping. So the first is sustainable. That means that we're not using more than we can reproduce. So if something is sustainable, it's not taking away more than it gives. So we think about like sustainable energy. There's enough solar power and there's enough wind power that we can use that energy without depleting it completely. We always can create more energy this way. But if we talk about coal energy, there's only so much coal in the planet. And so once that has all been harvested and used to create energy, there's no way that we can create more coal. So that is not sustainable. Another term that you might hear is all natural. This means that it doesn't have any fake colors, fake flavors, fake chemicals. So something that is all natural is going to be in the same form that it was created in nature. They're not adding extra stuff to it. A word that gets tossed around a lot is eco-friendly. So that means that this product does not damage the ecosystem and it doesn't damage us because it doesn't have toxic chemicals in it. So something that's eco-friendly would be like my bamboo reusable mug, because bamboo is sustainable. We can plant as much as we want of it. It's non-toxic, it's a natural material, and it doesn't hurt the environment because they're managing the environment that they take the bamboo from to create stuff like this. Organic. So organic means that things are grown without fake chemicals, fertilizers, pesticides. If you think about an organic chicken, that chicken is something that lived its whole life as nature intended. It's out on the farm field, it's eating corn kernels, it's eating whole grains. It's not stuffed in a confined space on a metal floor where it's pumped full of hormones and antibiotics. So recycled is our next term, and recycled means that it was used with recycled material. So a lot of companies like Coca-Cola, they use recycled plastic to make their new plastic. So that means that they're staying in their recycling stream. So you can drink their product, you can put the bottle in your recycling container, and then they use that recycled plastic to make a new bottle of Coke. The word biodegradable means that it breaks down naturally in the environment. So an example might be a banana peel. If you put a banana peel onto a floor, onto like grass or out in the woods, it's going to break down, it's going to rot, and it's going to eventually become part of the earth again. And compostable means that it can be composted in an anaerobic digester. So we don't have those here in Wood County, but some bigger cities, and I'll show you a picture of those, they have big compostable machines that help break down things like biodegradable plastic. So why is it important to be a green shopper? When we are shopping green, we are helping to protect the planet because we're not using as many resources. And the resources that we are using are renewable. That means that they're sustainable. We can use them again and again and again. And even though one person you might think doesn't make a big difference, we actually all make a huge impact on the world. And when people make products, if we're not buying those products because they're not sustainable, eventually they're going to stop making products like that because no one's buying them. They can't make money off of them. And they're going to change how they make their products. It also helps us to be more sustainable. So we're more aware of our impact on the planet. And a lot of companies realize that people want to be green shoppers. So now some companies are doing what's called greenwashing. And we're going to see some examples of this. They are trying to trick you into thinking that their products are eco friendly based on the way that they're worded or the way that the packaging looks. But really, they're not that much better than their traditional products. So here are some examples. The first one I have is a Coca-Cola bottle. Now this Coke is growing wild in the grass, just like a natural flower. Not quite. As we all know, Coke is not natural. It's made up of a lot of chemicals. It's really not good for us, and it's really not good for the planet. But the way that they make this picture makes it seem like it's a very healthy, very natural beverage. Now, the next picture is a Fiji water bottle, and you see it looks like a tropical flower on here. It came straight from a waterfall. Well, that's not quite true either. So, first of all, plastic comes from um, either fracking or it comes from getting energy out of the environment in a non renewable way. And so, oil drilling to make the plastic, that's not natural. And a lot of plastic water bottles are actually just bottled from the tap. So the same thing as putting your reusable bottle under the faucet, that's what they do, but they slap on a label with a flower on it and you buy it because it's prettier. The next we have Huggies Pure and Natural. So even though you have this baby under a tree, she's so happy in her cotton onesie, um, it's still plastic, and plastic is man-made. Plastic is a chemical, lots of chemicals. It's not natural. We also have Cheetos Simply Natural. So this might be something that you convince yourself is like a healthy snack because it's natural, but really it's just another junk food in a healthier looking label. Then I have this chicken breast. So it says 100% all natural. When they go out to these farms where Tyson sources their chicken from, these chicken are all crammed in little coops. They can't move around. They can't be normal chickens. The food that they eat is not what normal chickens would eat. So the term all natural is misleading. And this is what we talk about greenwashing, where they're trying to convince you that their product is eco-friendly or it's good for you, when really it's just a green label on a normal product. And bottled water. Now, this is a great example of greenwashing. So, bottled water is no better for you than tap water. It's way more expensive and it really can affect the planet negatively. So, bottled water, it takes 7 million barrels of oil per year to produce the bottles. And 20 billion of these bottles end up in the landfill each year. That means they're going into a big hole in the earth where they will stay in that same spot for thousands of tens of thousands of years. People that drink bottled water on a daily basis, they spend hundreds of dollars each year compared to less than $1 a year for tap water. Some of the bottled waters are actually not as good for you. They contain contamination. And it takes twice as much water to make the bottle than it does to actually hold the water that's in there. So you're using a lot more resources. You're using a lot more oil and plastic. Chemicals from the plastic when you open your bottle can be ingested, and that can really harm our health. And then we have plastic in the ocean. A lot of this plastic comes from things like pop bottles and water bottles, and so it's damaging our planet. So one of the easiest ways that we can be a green shopper is to avoid buying bottled water. We can get reusable water. We can get filters on our water at home if we don't like the taste of the tap. But it's definitely safer for you to drink your tap water, and it's safer for the planet too. This was a cool little story that I found a few weeks ago. So this is Legos, and this kind of is an example of greenwashing. So they realized that this type of plastic is not recyclable. So now they're making the plastic from plant-based materials, and they're saying that it's much more sustainable this way. But unfortunately, the plant-based plastic doesn't really break down naturally. It still is a form of plastic, which means it's not natural. So it's not all the way sustainable. It's better, but it's not all the way sustainable. But the reason that they made this change is because some kid who was probably your age wrote in a letter and it says, "Dear Mr. and Mrs. Lego, I love Lego sets, but it upsets me that it comes wrapped in so many single use plastic bags that are hurting the planet Earth. I thought it was a bit silly that the Lego Ocean Rescue set came in the plastic bags that are harming our beautiful sea creatures. I don't understand why Lego bricks are not wrapped in plastic." And this kid is basically saying that we had the ocean set, yet you guys are wrapping in the plastic bags, and the plastic bags are what's hurting our oceans right now. So Lego took this story, and now all of their Lego sets are wrapped in a compostable, recyclable paper bag. So it's really cool, and all it takes is one person that can make a big difference. So one way that we can make a huge difference and be great green shoppers is by having a sustainable school lunch. So instead of buying your lunch every day, or instead of getting a prepackaged lunch, there's some ways that we can reduce our impact on the planet. We can switch to reusable bags and containers. We can get paper bags or reusable lunch boxes. Shop local, shop organic. We can compost. Let's see, here you can compost the apple core and the apple peel if you don't eat the peel, and not using single use utensils. So things like these cannot go into the recycling bin. So this is going to get used one time, and then it's going to stay in the landfill for a very, very long time. Same with things like plastic bags or plastic wrapped food items. We eat that one time, but then it stays in the earth for a very, very long time. So that's what we try to reduce when we're sustainable. So I went to the store the other day and I found some examples of not eco-friendly products. So the first one I have is gummy bears, and each gummy bear was wrapped individually. So for all these gummy bears, you have twice as much plastic, and all that plastic is thrown away. Now here we have a snack pack, and all these items, they look really tasty, but we could have made something like this at home without all the plastic. All you had to do was get some pretzels, some apples, and cheese slices and put them in a reusable container. Now we have a plastic tray and plastic packaging that all has to go to the trash. Also, things, individual snack size food items. These are very, very wasteful. So not only do we have the individual serving size of food, then it's put into a box and then it's wrapped in plastic. So all of this packaging is going to go to the landfill. A better option is we can buy the largest size of the snack that we like, and we can put it into little reusable bags ourselves and take it with us to school or to our friend's house or wherever we're going to eat. And here's another example. You almost can't hardly see what the food is because it's wrapped in so much plastic. So there's ways, this is not sustainable. It's not eco-friendly because so much of this product is going straight into the trash can. So now I wanted to show you guys some items that I have or that I found around the store that help us to be good green shoppers. The first is a beeswax food wrap. So this is what I can use in place of cling wrap or single-use plastic. And this sticks on to my food. You take it over your container and you can kind of press it down in there and you can reuse it again and again and again. So this is something that's an example of reusable. I also have a plant-powered cleaner. So as you can see, this is clear. There's no blue dyes or crazy smells to it. This is something that doesn't have a lot of harsh chemicals. So it's good for our health and it's good for the planet's health. It's derived from plant-based cleaners and it's readily biodegradable. It's made without dyes, parabens, phosphates, and phthalates. And it cleans just as well as a traditional chemical-based cleaner. So this is something that we can find in the store, our parents can use, and this does just as good a job without hurting our health or the planet's health. I also have LED light bulbs. So this is a really easy switch. LED lasts a lot longer, so we don't send as many light bulbs to the landfill, and it also saves us money. So using things that are more energy efficient, again, they're better for us, better for the planet. Then I have Crayola colored pencils. So Crayola has something called Eco Evolution. And you can actually send in all of your old markers that no longer work, and Crayola recycles them. They turn them into things like plastic benches that can go in your school or other recycled products. So they are making a pledge to produce more sustainable products. They're planting more trees. They're using recycled plastic. So a lot of companies are catching on that we want to protect our planet and we will only buy their products if they become more sustainable. Last, I have something that is a little bit of a greenwash. So it's called an earth-friendly straws. But what is this bag wrapped in? Plastic. So that is not earth-friendly. And it says that these straws are biodegradable. But if they're made out of plastic, they can only biodegrade in an actual digester facility, which most people don't have access to. So what's a better option than buying something like this? We can skip the straw completely, or we can buy a reusable straw. So this is an example of a stainless steel straw. And if you like to drink with straws, that's fine. But this is a great alternative to buying single-use plastic straws or even these earth-friendly straws. Because this we only need one of and we can use it again and again and again. Now this one might be more for your parents, but this is another cleaning product. And instead of being made out of plastic, the packaging is actually cardboard. So cardboard can be recycled or it can be composted. And this uses a lot less product to get the same cleaning effect. So we don't have to use as much of it, but it still cleans just as well. Next, I have my produce bag. So this is what I take when I go to the grocery store or I go to farmers markets. Instead of using those little plastic bags that they have hanging up to get your fruit or your vegetables in, this is just a mesh net. And I can put all my produce into here, don't have to use plastic. And then I can throw this into my washing machine at home to clean it. So this is an example of reusable. This is something that we gave away at the Wood County Fair 2 years ago. So it's actually a coaster. It's made out of recycled corkboard and electrical unit from an old computer. So this is something that's called upcycling, where we take old products and we make them into something even better than what they used to be. So this is what I put my drinks on. And this is an example of a recycled notebook. So this is made out of paper that someone like you put in their recycling bin or cardboard. And now I have a calendar and it's just as nice as non-recycled paper. And this is really beneficial for the planet. And it's good for me too, because I can write down all my notes and then I can put this in the recycling bin. So there's a lot of ways that we can be green shoppers. The most important thing is to think about how wasteful this product is. Am I going to put most of it right into the trash can? Is there a better alternative? Can I do something more sustainable? Reduce, reuse, and recycle. I'm going to send you guys a link to a video called The Story of Stuff, which will show you how most of our products are created and why they such a problem for our planet. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you soon.